My parents warned me they wouldn't attend my wedding unless I invited my sister, who betrayed me by having an affair with my fiancé. My response caught them off guard. Growing up, my sister Lily, 26, and I were inseparable. We shared a cramped bedroom, whispering secrets late into the night. Lily was the vibrant one, always sketching, singing, or chasing creative passions, while I was the reserved one, buried in books. Despite our differences, our bond was unbreakable. Our parents, David, 55, and Ellen, 53, drilled one rule into us: family always comes first, no exceptions. I held that belief close, but I learned the hard way that loyalty only holds when everyone plays by the same code. In college, I met Ethan. He was witty, thoughtful, and shared my love for literature. We'd spend hours debating authors, swapping quotes, and dreaming of our future. After graduation, we moved in together, planning a life of marriage and kids. Lily, meanwhile, was struggling to break through as an artist, juggling odd jobs. I admired her grit. She and Ethan clicked over their shared love of art and music, things I never really got into. I never thought twice about it. Then, one day, everything shattered. I'd forgotten a work file at home and asked Lily to send it to me. When I opened her email, I found more than just my document. There were messages, flirty, intimate exchanges between her and Ethan. One said, "Last night was unforgettable. Can't wait to see you again." My heart sank. They'd been involved for 6 months. I rushed home and confronted Ethan. He tried to dodge at first, but the evidence broke him. "It wasn't planned," he mumbled. I threw him out. Then I went to Lily's apartment. She didn't even try to lie. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I love him." I left, hollow inside. When I told my parents, they were stunned, but their support faded fast. Instead of standing by me, they urged me to forgive Lily. "She's your sister," Mom said. "Family stays together." I was floored. They cared more about harmony than my heartbreak. Months later, I met Noah. He was gentle, understanding, and never pushed me. When he proposed, I said yes. But as wedding plans took shape, my parents started again. "You need to invite Lily," Dad insisted. "It's wrong to leave family out." I stood firm. Then came their ultimatum. If Lily wasn't invited, they wouldn't come. I was speechless. They were choosing her over me on my wedding day. Worse, they blamed my best friend Claire for stirring up trouble and demanded I drop her from the bridal party. That was it. "Fine," I said. "If you'd rather skip my wedding than respect my decision, don't come." On the big day, the sun glowed, and everyone I cherished was there, except my parents. As I walked down the aisle, I glanced at the door, hoping they'd appear. They didn't. But you know what? My wedding was still perfect because I refused to let their betrayal dim my joy. The months after were a mix of bliss and pain. Marrying Noah, who showed me true love and respect, filled me with happiness, but my parents' absence left an ache. I kept expecting a call, an apology, some sign they regretted hurting me. Silence. At first, I thought they needed time. Maybe they felt guilty for missing their daughter's wedding. Maybe they were waiting for me to reach out. But as weeks became months, reality sank in. This wasn't a temporary rift. They'd chosen their side, and it wasn't mine. Friends and family skirted the topic, unsure what to say. Some dropped hints. "Your mom was heartbroken missing your day." Or, "Your dad keeps your wedding picture on his desk." But no one said what I longed to hear. They were wrong. "You didn't deserve this." Meanwhile, Lily faded from my life. Word got around that she and Ethan tried to make it work, but fell apart within a year. Trust wasn't their strength either. Part of me felt a bitter satisfaction, but mostly I was exhausted. Exhausted by the drama, the betrayal, the effort of caring for people who showed me where I ranked in their world. Everything shifted when I learned I was pregnant. Noah and I had talked about kids, but we didn't expect it so soon. Seeing those 2 lines on the test changed everything. The thought of my child growing up without grandparents, my parents, felt unbearable. But I wouldn't be the one to break the silence. If they wanted to know their grandchild, they'd have to come to me. And, for the first time in years, they did. It was a rainy Tuesday when Mom showed up at my door unannounced. She looked worn, her hair streaked with more gray, her eyes cautious. "Can we talk?" she asked softly. I let her in. What followed was a tense exchange of partial apologies and excuses. "We didn't mean to hurt you," she said. "We just wanted the family to stay whole." I sat quietly, my hands resting on my still flat belly. Then I asked the question that had haunted me. Why was keeping Lily happy more important than standing by me? Mom's face fell. "It wasn't like that," she said. "We thought pushing you two together would fix things." "Fix things?" I snapped. "Mom, she slept with the man I was going to marry. You don't fix that." She had no response. We reached a fragile agreement. My parents could be part of my child's life, but on my terms. No forced reconciliations with Lily, no pressure to move on, and absolutely no Ethan. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a tearful reunion where all wounds healed. But it was a start. As for Lily, I heard she moved across the country, still chasing her art. We'll never have the bond we once shared, and I've made peace with that. Some ties are better left severed. This ordeal taught me something vital. Family isn't just about blood. It's about the people who show up, who choose you, who stand by you through the worst. For me, that's Noah. It's Claire, who held me through every tear and never judged. It's the tiny life growing inside me, who will always know they're loved fiercely. My parents? They're learning slowly. But I'm not waiting for them to catch up. The nursery was painted a gentle sea green when Dad showed up with a toolbox and a picture frame. "Thought you might need a hand," he muttered, avoiding my gaze as he fixed a wobbly shelf. It was the first time he'd offered help in years. I watched him, his calloused hands struggling with the small screws. This was the man who'd refused to walk me down the aisle, now carefully arranging space for his grandson's toys. "You know," he said quietly, "your mom cries every time she sees the baby clothes you left at our house." His words hung like an olive branch. 3 months later, when my water broke in the dead of night, Mom was there, holding my hair back through contractions. Dad paced the waiting room in the same suit he'd worn to my wedding, the one he never made it to. When the nurse placed my perfect, wailing son in my arms, Lily's name slipped out in a whisper. She never visited the hospital. But that evening, a package arrived, a handmade mobile with delicate stars that twirled in the breeze. No note, just our childhood initials etched faintly on one star, L and M, sisters always. Noah found me crying in the nursery that night. "We don't have to keep it," he said, brushing a tear from my face. But I hung it up, because forgiveness isn't about erasing the past. It's about making space for new chapters amid the cracks. As I rocked my son under those spinning stars, I realized something profound. The family I thought I'd lost was never truly gone. It had just grown wider. The end. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe for more real-life tales and emotional journeys. Your support means everything and helps us share more stories like this. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.